Dotson's Corner is moving up in the world. We are on the come up, baby. We are here to stay. So today, in honor of us moving up in the world, we're talking about one UFC fighter in every division that should move up weight classes.
Dude, your segues are legendary.
They're the most random of all time.
And at the end, we have a bonus because you can't move up from heavyweight, but we have one person who needs to start a new division, right? Dana White talks about making an atomweight division. We're making a super heavyweight division because we know what the fans really want.
Yeah.
We want Brock Lesnar steroided out of his mind, sauced up. All right, let's get into it. Let's start off with flyweight, as always.
I have Kai Kara France. I think we see the power that he shows in flyweight, and then just putting on an extra 10 pounds, he'd really fit well into that bantamweight division full of so many great strikers. And a matchup I gave for him, Song Yadong. I think that would be a good fight.
That would be a banger, actually. And I think what's interesting is we've seen Figgy go up and have a lot of success, and he's one of the most powerful flyweights of all time.
Yeah.
And so is Kai Kara France. So I think they'd have similar success.
And I feel like Kai Kara France kind of gets left out in the top of flyweight. So not that he would be a contender in bantamweight, I don't think, but just like, change of sceneries. Everyone in flyweight's kind of fought each other. Move it up to bantamweight.
Yeah, I'm excited for some of these new flyweights to finally start coming through because it's getting stale up there. In the 7 to 15 range, it's really stale. My first person is going to be Brandon Moreno. I think if he loses one more title fight, it's probably about it in flyweight. He's probably about done. He's had a shot at pretty much everyone, and he was already a 2-time champion, I believe. So it's time. He's also 5'7", which is absolutely massive for flyweight. A dude who's 5'7" and can make 125 pounds. It's mental. For a matchup, I don't think Brandon Moreno has the name value to go up and fight someone big. I think he's probably going to fight lower down the rankings, and I want to see him get a win. Thinking about Figgy, he fought Cody Garbrandt, who was outside of the rankings, and Figgy's a former champ and a legend in flyweight, one of the best. So my matchup is Kyler Phillips.
You don't give him the Figgy matchup?
No.
Chasing him to bantamweight?
That would be nuts.
Fighting for the 11th time?
That would be crazy.
It's gone up every video. We talk about it.
But yeah, I give him Kyler Phillips because I think it's a very winnable matchup. We already saw Rob Font, who's far past his prime, be able to beat him. So I have full confidence Brandon Moreno could as well.
And you don't love to see fighters move up and then immediately take a loss. Yeah. It's like, what was the point of that?
The UFC doesn't want that either.
No. All right, moving on to bantamweight. I got a guy who I think has the body type. He's tall, he's long, and if he puts on an extra 10 pounds, could do good things. In featherweight, I think that his time in the bantamweight division is over. He had his one last shot. He lost it to an up-and-comer. I'm talking about Corey Sandhagen. His time in bantamweight is basically over.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to beat one of those elite wrestlers like Marab or Umar at the top. I think he gets outclassed striking-wise by a guy like Jan or O'Malley. So I think that a change of scenery, jumping ship over to featherweight could be really good for him. And I think there he could have some great matchups with the guys in featherweight that are a little bit lower down. Some of these great strikers, like he could go out there and fight Calvin Kattar. That would be a great fight.
Yeah, that's a banger. Okay, my matchup is Sean O'Malley.
Ooh.
If he loses another title fight. He's 5'11".
Yeah.
He's absolutely massive for the division. He looks like he could put on more weight if he started doing some weightlifting. And for a matchup, I went with Arnold Allen.
Ooh, that would be so good.
It's a banger striking matchup.
Especially if Ilya's gone to lightweight and they need an interim title shot, like Lopez versus O'Malley.
That would be crazy.
Would be such a good fight.
Yeah. Don't call us casuals. We're just thinking of matchups. It's just for fun.
And if you're gonna call us a casual, you cannot go in this comments and tell us that you wouldn't want to see Diego Lopez for Sean O'Malley.
Yeah. It's just a fun fight.
That fight would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Sorry that it doesn't have this deep-rooted history and stylistically they don't match up.
They don't deserve it.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up. You sound like Taporia. All right, let's move on to featherweight. Who's going to move up from featherweight, Dylan?
This is a guy who they've talked about. It's time for him to move up. He's been in featherweight for a while now. Time to move on to new things inside of lightweight. Brian Ortega.
Oh, okay. That's not. I thought you were going for Volkanovski.
No. It's just as simple as it. He's fought everyone in featherweight.
Yeah.
So before he retires, has a few more years left, let's see him go up to lightweight and have some fights that could be fun. I think that his jiu-jitsu could be fun in that division. I think he could actually be a tough matchup for some people in that division with his jiu-jitsu. So that's why I have him going up against another Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist, Brian Ortega versus Renato Moicano.
Yeah, that's good. Right now, Hinata Moicano is not high enough in the rankings where it's like, oh, you can't give him someone who's coming up from a lower weight class. He's still like 10.
Yeah.
So that's fair. And I think Brian Ortega is a high enough level where his jiu-jitsu is going to give anyone problems. Like Charles Oliveira. Look what he's done in that division.
Yeah.
It's full of strikers.
And Moicano was a guy who came up from featherweight. You know, I think that would be a very like active fight.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah. I like
Even
it.
Charles came up from featherweight. Yeah. Okay, my matchup, obviously, I think Volkanovski needs to move up. It's time, brother. It's time. I don't love it though, because think about how much more power the guys at lightweight have. Dude's getting sparked out in even less shots. I think when he loses a second time to Topuria, that's when it's time to move up. He's only 5'6", so he's extremely small for a lightweight if he does decide to permanently move up. But there's tons of fun matchups. And I think one of the most exciting matchups, it's kind of like the Chandler Oliveira fight where it's a guaranteed banger. It's Volk versus Oliveira.
Yeah, and I think that you don't have to worry about the knockout power of like a Hooker, Poirier, or Gaethje in his first fight there, because you know that if Volk's going up to lightweight, he's gonna fight someone higher up. He's not gonna go and fight someone who's lower down, like a Dariush, a BSD. He's not gonna fight one of those guys. He's gonna fight someone at the top.
100%.
And
you could match him up against anyone, and I'd be excited.
Even like an Armin fight.
Yeah. That'd be tough.
It would be tough. All right, moving on to lightweight. The fighter I got moving up, it's Islam Makhachev.
Oh, okay, nice.
And obviously, if Islam's going to move up, he's there for one reason, and that's to become champion. He's going there for the belt. So whether that's Bilal Muhammad, whether that's Ian Gary, whether that's Shavkat, he's got to go for the belt. And I know that he might not want to fight Bilal, but I don't know how long Bilal's going to be that champion, especially with him being so old already. 36 as a champion. Like, his time is really going to be short as champion. So if that's against a Shavkat in the future, if it's against a JDM, if it's against an Usman, whoever it is, I would love to see Islam move up and become a double champion, something that Khabib never did.
Yeah, that cements his legacy even more, for sure. Okay, my lightweight pick is Dustin Poirier. I think it's smart for him. He's a big frame. He has the size for it. He wouldn't be super small, but he wouldn't be massive either. The matchup, I think two Americans going at it. It's Colby Covington.
Yeah, that I just don't like watching Colby fight. He's so boring.
I don't like watching him either. Like recent Colby. Old Colby was really exciting, but recent Colby hasn't been the best. We're going to have to see how he performs against Buckley. If he doesn't win against Buckley, then I think
he gets cut. He gets cut.
A Poirier fight doesn't really make sense because Poirier is a massive name.
Yeah.
He's like, him and Charles are the biggest names other than champions, right?
Honestly, probably.
Right? Like,
Maybe
I mean,
O'Malley.
Yeah, and like former champions.
Oh,
you have to think Poirier's never been a former champion.
Yeah, like, well, he might be the biggest non-champion fighter of all time. He probably is.
Yeah.
So,
you know what the comments are gonna say?
What?
He's had a belt. Undisputed.
Interim doesn't count,
exactly.
mother trucker.
Exactly.
But no, it's the fight to make. And I think with Colby though is like, he just gotta. This is what happens when you spend 18 hours a day scrolling on Infowars. this is what happens to your fighting.
And listening to Alex Jones. Jeez.
Speaking of Colby Covington, he's my welterweight that should move up.
Oh, okay.
Just because I feel like his time has come in welterweight, and I think that I have a fight inside of middleweight that I want to see him have, and that's against Sean Strickland. I know that the levels there aren't there, but if Colby beat Buckley, he'd go up and fight Sean Strickland, especially if Sean loses the next fight, and just have the battle of the All-Americans, you know? Like, imagine that fight on the mic. Because it's not like they're
I don't
friends.
know what I would think.
It's not like they're friends. Sean has blatantly called out Colby Covington
for being fake.
For being fake, or like what he said about Leon Edwards' dad and stuff. Like he's like that's not what UFC trash talk is, you know? Like, so
that's very fair.
I would really like to see that fight, and I would also like to see Sean Strickland beat Colby Covington. But Colby's so good on the ground, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But like we saw Colby lose to a point fighter in Leon Edwards, so. Yeah, that's just for the presser. I'm a big presser guy. I want those presser moments.
And Strickland's huge for middleweight as well. The fact that he ever made welterweight is mind-blowing to me. For my middleweight matchup, I have Kamaru Usman moving up. He's, again, big for the division. He's absolutely ripped. He's a tank in welterweight. And I think he has the skills and ability to compete with some of the not lower class, but like just below the title in middleweight. So I have him matched up against Whitaker. Whitaker's coming off a loss. If Usman wants a fight to get into that picture in middleweight, Whitaker's the guy to the stepping stone, 100%. So he also did a good job against Hamzat at that It was 185, I think. It wasn't a catch weight, was it?
I believe it was 185.
Yeah, or it might have been like a weird catch weight, but it was higher weight than welterweight. And we saw how well his wrestling held up against a guy who's probably going to get the belt in the next 2 fights. So I want to see it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let him move up, especially because he's already had losses to Leon, and the contenders are dogs in welterweight.
Yeah.
Like, it's dangerous to fight those guys.
All right, moving on to middleweight. My pick, the style bender, Israel Adesanya. His time is coming to an end inside of middleweight. You know, especially if he loses to an Imavov or a Barajo, then it's like his title shot is surely gone. And like lightweight is so weak that realistically, you move this guy to lightweight, he could be the second best lightweight in the world.
Light heavyweight.
Yeah, sorry. Light heavyweight is so weak that he could realistically be the second or third best light heavyweight in the world.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot.
We have seen him move up and lose to Jan Blachowicz. We've seen him lose to Pereira inside of middleweight. But tell me that if Israel Adesanya goes up and fights Jamal Hill, that's not a competitive fight.
It is, yeah.
100%. And I think that that's the matchup I have, but I also have, obviously, you want to see him fight Poatan again.
Yeah.
At the end of their career, surely that's got to happen.
If he gets one win over a Jamal Hill...
Oh, they're sticking him into that title fight.
100%. Dude.
But yeah, him versus Jamal Hill would be a great fight, I think.
For my middleweight fighter, it's someone who obviously needs to move up. Not yet, but they will move up eventually, I think. It's Khamzat Chimaev. Started in welterweight, moved to middleweight, still can't make weight. Send him to 205. Let's see if he can make weight there.
Dude, he could have been our triple champion, Khamzat.
Yeah, still could maybe. If he takes 2 years off and just loses all of his muscle mass, gets back down to welterweight, it could be.
We got to get in touch with his agent. He could 100%. He kills anyone in welterweight, kills anyone in middleweight, kills anyone in light heavyweight. He kills Poatan.
Yeah.
Like, unless Poatan can have a one-shot KO at the very beginning.
Front kick, boom! Yeah, like UFC 5, when we both start, we both front kick each other.
It's the only way to start the fight. But yeah, Khamzat. Oh.
For a matchup, I put anyone. Like, he beats anyone, I think, in that top 5.
It's crazy how, like, a month ago, we would not stop hating on Khamzat. Never could make weight.
No, you loved him. You always loved him.
I never loved him. Like, he wasn't one of my guys. Like, but like the fact that he just couldn't make weight and like all this stuff and like was sick and then he pulled out of that Abu Dhabi card. But now like we're so high on him. All we do is glaze this guy.
Yeah, it's fair though. It's warranted.
All right, and moving up to our final division, light heavyweight, before we get to the main event. But for lightweight, I got Alex Pereira. I think that going up and fighting the champion inside of heavyweight is the only place he could really go inside of light heavyweight. I don't want to see him fight Pavlich. I don't want to see him fight Gon. I don't want to see him fight anyone else. The only person I want to see him fight is the champion.
Yeah. He's done enough in the sport where he deserves an immediate title
Especially
shot.
if he's going for that 3 belts. Like, you're not going to make him leave light heavyweight to go and fight a contender.
Especially risking it all.
The only way you go up as champion is to fight another champion.
Definitely. So for my pick, I went with someone who has had a bit of a up and down career in light heavyweight, and I think it could benefit him. He's the biggest light heavyweight that I know of. It's Johnny Walker.
He's huge. How he 6'5"? Like,
I think he's 6'7".
Holy cow!
How he ever makes? Let me fact check that. But how he ever makes light heavyweight is a mystery to me. Like, he doesn't even look that weight drained. He's not skin and bone, but I have heard his weight cuts are brutal. I've heard that before.
Makes sense from the way he flies around that ring after he gets KO'd. No one gets KO'd more viciously than Johnny Walker. Oh, you really gonna? Don't worry, I got the conversion.
Don't give us 1.98 meters. That's crazy. He's almost 2 meters tall.
Oh, so that's 86 inches. 60 is 5 foot.
He's 6'5".
Oh, I was right. You guys see that quick maths? STEM major. Guess what type of STEM major I am in the comments.
Gay STEM major. After further investigation, Johnny Walker is indeed 6'5". Dylan was right. So he's a massive, massive light heavyweight, and he has like size too. So I think he puts on a little bit more muscle. We've seen guys like Nchukuku move up to heavyweight from light heavyweight. That's a deep cut. If you call me a casual after that, come on,
dude. He practiced that thing for so long before he was like.
I was listening to the YouTube like speller.
And then there's like a little like a bird chirp in there almost.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. Maybe he develops some sort of chin, some sort of belly.
Maybe like
some sort of mass on him.
What if we just send him all the way up to super heavyweight?
Oh, A new division. I like that.
Should we talk about super heavyweight now?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, super heavyweight division is for all of your favorite fighters. So Chris Barnett's going to be there. We're sending Anthony Smith up there. Johnny Walker can head up there.
Brother.
Derek Lewis is going up there. The opening fight is Derek Lewis versus Chris Barnett for the belt.
For the BMF belt. For the BMF super heavyweight.
The super is combined. It's like half of it is the BMF and half it's the UFC belt.
No, you just win a cheese pizza if you get the belt. No, let us know who else should be in the super heavyweight, because we got a 4-man BMF tournament right there, but there should definitely be some more fighters.
Is there anyone else who I think belongs up there?
Who's like super? Oh, Shamil Gaziev.
Oh, yeah.
Blob. Send Rebels to Spain up there. Why not?
We'll call him back up.
Yeah. Urseg.
I was thinking Dodson.
John Dodson. Our boy.
Oh, actually, Mario Batista's in that division too.
True,
Mario Batista gets to go fight up there. Let us know who the 8th guy who's going to join. Mario Batista, Robelas to Spain.
Steve Ursig.
Steve Ursig might not make the cut. Johnny Walker, Anthony Smith,
Derek
Lewis, Shamil Gaziev, Chris Barnett, and whoever you guys pick in the comments to be the super heavyweight champion, the inaugural.
And we'll run it on UFC 5.
Let's just put Francis Ngannou with him. You go there. You can fight all 7 of them at the same time.
Yeah, or Jones. Get Jones in there.
Jones is not good.
He'll hold up the division somehow. He'll be like, no, I don't want to fight Urseg.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Let us know who you think should move up divisions. Let us know who the 8th heavyweight should be. Thank you for all the love and support lately. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.